original dreamer, Tereza Lee.
So my name is Tereza Lee, she, her. Everyone who is undocumented has a unique story, where we were born, how old we were when we came, how we found out we were undocumented. I was born in Brazil and came to Chicago with my family when I was 2 years old. When I was 7, my dad called my brothers and me into the living room for an important family meeting. He said, "I have a very serious secret to tell you kids. You can't tell anyone outside of the family about this. There's this thing called a green card and a citizenship, and we have neither. We are undocumented." Of course, we were to tell no one about this. We struggled constantly with work, being able to drive to work, to school, getting higher education. We struggled with living expenses. Sometimes we didn't have food on the table. Most of all, I grew up fearing authorities and feeling isolated from the outside world, having nightmares about the police knocking down our door and taking my family away. My one refuge was the piano. I played piano in my dad's church and was self-taught for years. And when I got to high school, I got a scholarship to attend the Mayer School of Music in Chicago. And a year later, I became the first inner-city kid in Chicago's history to win the Chicago Symphony Orchestra Youth Program. When my music teachers found out that I wasn't planning on going to college because I was undocumented, they helped me to contact Senator Dick Durbin. He looked into my case and he saw that there was nothing that I could do. In fact, this was the government's very words. Even if I had cured cancer, I would still have to be deported. So he started writing a new bill that became known as the DREAM Act. This was back in year 2001. At that time, nobody could believe that 17 years later, we'd be where we are now. And although I've since become a U.S. citizen through marriage and hope to graduate with a doctorate of music in the spring, I became more and more active for immigrant rights as I saw my community being directly affected. Anybody who spent time fighting the IDC in the last couple of years probably saw me carting around my baby and my toddler, lobbying in Albany or getting arrested downtown. In addition to working with local churches to become sanctuaries, trying to set up a rapid response texting system for ICE raids, and continuing to tell my story to help bring public opinion to our side, my main legislative priorities were the New York DREAM Act and the New York Liberty Act. The Liberty Act, which would have essentially made New York a sanctuary state. Although these bills were easily passed in the assembly, they were blocked from ever even coming to a vote on the Senate floor because of the IDC. I know that the DREAM Act is just one part of something larger, a change in the direction and conscience of our country. I also know that primaries are the most important elections in American politics. And I'll be supporting and voting for the real Democrats, the progressive Democrats, on September 13th. I'm gonna play the piano for you. Chopin, called Fantaisie-Impromptu.